and we have lots of interesting areas. And so when you know what your students are interested in, then you can create lessons that incorporate some of these topics in them. So for instance, let's say you're making a presentation about, let me think, D-Day. And you could incorporate, if someone likes geography, you could incorporate some really cool images of the exact coast where D-Day took place and show maybe how that coast has changed or what it looks like today as opposed to on that date. So that would be one way to get to the geography people. For somebody who likes travel, then you could maybe ask them if they've been to that area and talk about what it's like there as far as travel goes. And writing, you could have a writing activity where you wrote from the perspective of maybe a soldier or of someone who's watching the event, so that would be very interesting, and it allows you to incorporate lots of different interests in one lesson. So definitely mapping out student interests is really important. Let kids take learning into their own hands. Of course, you're going to be holding those hands. When students feel that they are in control, as I talked about, they may be more receptive toward learning, because if you just give me something and say, here, learn this, then I'm like, I'm not going to take an order from you. Well, that's partially because I'm kind of rebellious, and then secondly because I would be like, hey, it's not in your place to just tell me what to do all the time. So when maybe my teacher gives me something and is like, do you want to explore this? What do you want to do with this? Then I am really able to go out there and explore in a broader way and feel like I have control. Students can come up with strategies for learning on their own and share ideas about assessment. So be sure to sit down with your students and ask them, how do you think you learn best? And what do you think I can do to help you accomplish that? And maybe what do you think is the best way to get tested? Do you do better with speaking or with writing? And so you can ask kids questions like that, and it can really help you understand their needs. Give kids a chance to create quiz questions for active expressions, or maybe help illustrate a lesson by finding relevant clip art. So when kids feel that they have control, even in small ways, then I think that we will be more receptive toward learning. You can take learning up a step further. Learning is a two-way street. And I think that teaching really is a learning process. So raise your hand to tell me if you think that you have learned stuff through teaching. I see a lot of raised hands, yes, and I would agree with that, because through my teaching, I really learned more than I imagined possible. Teaching isn't all about, oh, I already know everything and then I'm sharing it. It's, I know some things that I would like to share, and at the same time, I am learning from my students and through the process of teaching. And at the same time, learning can be a teaching process. Put your students in the driver's seat, well, maybe a little taller than that, but give enthusiastic learners the chance to teach, and give yourself a break. So eager students, or gifted students, plus the active board equals eager unpaid teachers. Enthusiastic students plus self-motivated research project equals success. So I'd like to emphasize self-motivated research project. This is not asking them to be the teacher. This is more, it's really a project. So they can research something that maybe has to do with the lesson that you're teaching, or a subject that they're really interested in. So they can do research on it and learn from the experience. Take notes, create maybe a speech, and create a flip chart. And through this, they're going to be learning about their topic. They're going to be learning about presentation skills, like eye contact and not fidgeting. And so you are really giving your students the chance to explore and widen their career options too. As a result of their cooking, cooks appreciate eating more. As a result of their teaching, teachers appreciate learning more. Well, we hope. I'm hoping you appreciate learning more. Students who teach equal learning gourmands. Now, I happen to both like to teach and to eat and to learn, so I thought that was appropriate. I'd like to talk about collaborative learning. So raise your hand if you have explored the grouping in your classroom with gifted students. Okay, very good. So it looks like we have some experienced members, and I'd like to hear how you group students.